Hello, future dog parents. Have you been looking for a fluffy companion that will accompany you on sunset walks, movie nights, and steal all of your socks? Today, along with the knowledge of Chapter 8 of Inside of a Dog by Alexandra Horowitz, I am going to tell you everything you need to know before you embark on the best 15 years of your lives. Okay, so throughout this experience, we are going to cover 3 main points that will make you a better dog parent. Number 1, canines have a different type of intelligence than humans do. Number 2, dogs will learn from all sorts of sources. And lastly, number 3, dogs don't speak English. To start us off, we're going to be discussing the overlooked intelligence of our canine friends. Oftentimes, we think of intelligence as the ability to do calculus, critically think, or to memorize lines of Shakespeare. These standards are great, but when we try to apply them to little Douglas the Golden Retriever or Franklin the German Shepherd, they tend to lose some relevance. As a whole, dogs tend to excel at communication and struggle with causality. When tested for their understanding of object permanence, which is something that humans use to just measure intelligence across species, when this was done using a bucket, a toy, and a screen, dogs' performances were less than stellar. Now, this could be interpreted as them not being as smart as humans, but standardized tests like these are simply rigged against them. Dogs did not evolve to have the same strength as humans. They are great at things that have evolutionarily benefited them that maybe we're not so great at. Now, to illustrate this, I included the famous Albert Einstein quote that we've all heard in like 2nd grade, that everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. So basically, this is just exemplifying the fact that we can't judge canine minds on their ability to, do standardized tests, and we're perceiving their intelligence through a human lens. And this isn't just Horowitz's opinion, science backs this up. When we look at a 2021 study of 375 puppies by Emily E. Bray and others, it was found that the puppies could follow pointing gestures from humans, look at human faces the way that human children can, and take cues from where human attention is to where they should put their attention is. This just goes to show how adept they have become and have been bred to communicate with people and other dogs. They also are very good. They were shown in this study to be very good at going to humans for help, to use them as tools to get what they want. So even though we might look at them and say, well, you're not able to solve these complex puzzles, they know to look to us when they don't know what to do, because they know that we will get those things for them and get what they need. They're essentially born and bred to communicate with us. Next, we're going to talk about how fast and effectively dogs learn. You've probably seen a billion viral videos of heartwarming tricks and tasks you can teach your future companion to perform. It's important to be aware of how much of a sponge your new friend is going to be. Dogs are excellent imitators. Building off of the previous sentiments, imitation is one thing that we have historically used as an indicator for intelligence. When tested for it, it turns out that dogs actually do mimic other dogs and humans. When they were shown a dog getting a treat from hitting a wooden rod with their nose instead of their paw, when there was no good reason for this, for example, like when no ball was present in the dog's mouth, the dogs tended to repeat the behavior because they saw that the outcome must have some reasonable explanation. I was able to see this firsthand in my dogs. I recently taught my Australian Shepherd named Fred to beg when I gave him a treat, and after a couple weeks of doing this consistently, my extremely food-motivated and kind of older corgi recognized this and began to respond to the command as well. They both really enjoy the pepperoni treats that I give to them, and I just thought it was so interesting that I never overtly taught the command to Pearl, but she ended up doing the same action as Fred because she saw him doing it and imitated it. Finally, let's talk about canine language. Dogs can't say hello or recite Shakespeare, but they talk to us and each other in more ways than we might realize. This dog language is exemplified when they play. They use signals to each other and to us, like attention getters, that include pawing, barking, and staring, and also play signals, most commonly known as like the play bow. It's important to understand these because if we don't, we might misinterpret some of their some of their intentions and what they're trying to do, and this could create just more animosity or just generally make it harder to meet our dog's needs and understand what's going on. In Horowitz's novel, we learned that the dog Philip was able to distinguish between humans who knew where the key that opened this little box that had a treat he had was, and the humans that didn't. And in order to get the treat that he really wanted, he used cues to indicate to the humans that didn't know where the key was, where it was, because he knew that he knew. This is another great example of a dog using cues and signals to use a human as tools to get what they want. So when they communicate with us, it helps them get their needs met, and it helps us understand them better. So the big question, why do these things matter? A study such as the study done by Ross, Miriam, and others in 2024 showed that people's perceptions of intelligence with dogs are highly just preconceived notions. People largely agree that a smart dog has high social awareness and physical reasoning in this study. The same study showed that people who believe that their dog is smarter are more likely to report satisfaction with their companion. And also, these preconceived notions about intelligence lead to breed mischaracterizations and stereotypes, which then lead to certain breeds not being adopted at all or being adopted faster. Now, this is problematic because these assumptions are often made without understanding that canines perceive the world differently than us and have not evolved to be good at the same things that humans are good at. Knowing all of these things that we've discussed thus far will give you the opportunity to build an even stronger bond and lessen the instances of miscommunications with your future best friends.